Many of you have been reaching out to me privately with comments about the things I say and also your approbation for what I've been doing. And it fills me with joy and appreciation that you really can't even imagine how much. But because I can't seem to get comments here where we can share the dialogue, today starts a new feature called Heard What You Say Thursday. I'm going to start with a comment from Louise on the How to Bridge Seemingly Irreconcilable Differences vlog. And what she said was she agreed with a lot of what I said, but she asked, how can we remain calm and accept someone else's reality when it is racist, hate-filled, or against scientific fact, and you simply can't fathom this way of thinking? I gave this a lot of thought because it was a great and very provocative question. And I have a few things that I do want to say in response to that. So, like the Serenity Prayer says, we have to recognize the things we can change and the things we can't. And the first thing is that when you meet someone with deeply ingrained hate, hatred, and or racist feelings, I'm not sure that you're going to be able to say any one thing that can really change that. But we need to hold on to hope. So there's a few things that I do want to point out. In the vlog post on Monday, I quoted a few lines from a song from The King and I. Right now, I want to reference a few lines from a song from South Pacific where she sings, "You have to be taught to hate and fear. You have to be taught from year to year. It has to be drummed in your dear little ear. You have to be carefully taught." There is a concept of legacy that I think societally we don't really appreciate. Legacy of slavery and the impact of that on incarceration and race issues that we have today institutionally and even individually. When you meet someone with a legacy of hate, with a legacy of racism, what we probably tend to do is we shut down to them, or we tell them you're awful, you're wrong, you're terrible, and we shut them down. The shutting down is the problem. So the first thing I would say is try and be curious, not furious. Try and understand the legacy that is contributing to that person's deep-seated hatred and speech that you just cannot abide, and more importantly, perhaps, action that you cannot abide. Because in actually being curious about it, you can start to understand where it comes from. And maybe in asking those questions, you might trigger a thought pattern in their head. More probably, you'll trigger a thought pattern in your own head about how to start combating racism for the people who haven't had it drummed enough in their dear little ear, the younger people where the hope lies for change. In addition, while no one changes on a dime, you might just plant a seed by forcing that person to investigate their own thinking. And maybe it's not their own thinking, maybe it's just been drummed in their dear little ear. You might engender an introspective process that begins to get them thinking about things differently. And of course, as I said at the beginning, you may just have to accept that this particular person is not someone that you can change. But at least that's a course of action for how to work with those people, which was the question. I will say this, though. If the people who are saying those things are people that are actually in your life, friends or family of yours, you have every right. And I actually encourage you to say to them, you may not say those things in front of me. I said that once to a relative of mine who responded by saying to me, I can think however I want to think. And I said, you can. I agree with you. But you may not say those things to me. There's a difference between how you think and what you do in front of me. And so in rejecting that behavior, again, you might just spur on some thought. So that is the response to what you had to say on Thursday. The next one is something I want to say is a bit of a postscript to the Going Greener Like Greta vlog. And this was inspired by the release yesterday of a sobering but absolutely must-see documentary called Anthropocene. If you see the movie, you're going to say, seriously, see, you're talking to us about toothbrushes. But I can only do what I can do in my little piece of the world. And I know and believe that if each one of us, every single one of us, did what we can do in our little piece of the world, that would be the biggest step towards changing the world as a whole. So they tell us we should change our toothbrushes every 3 months. I don't remember how to do that except if I do it when the seasons come. I know that's every 3 months, so it just turned fall this week, so I changed my toothbrush. I want to show you my toothbrush. I don't throw away the whole toothbrush, and I know you're going to say you can recycle, but go see the movie. Recycling is not what you think it is, and unfortunately, it is not happening anywhere near as much as all of us would hope or believe or like. But this toothbrush, I just changed the top. I've had the toothbrush itself for years. I don't even know how many. So I pop out this top. I buy this. There's actually 3 of them, but I'm down to my last one, so I have to order new ones. And I just pop out the top and replace the top every time the seasons change. It's small, I know, but small steps. So there are a couple of responses on Heard What You Say Thursday. Because so many of you are reaching out to me directly and personally, I started an Instagram page at C. Peterson. I know I'm late to the party. All the more reason for you to invite me to yours. I'm just getting the hang of it. So if you're on Instagram, please send me, connect with me. I don't think it's an invitation. I'm still working it out. It really just happened yesterday. But it's at C. Peterson. And you can comment to me there, and I'll respond here or there or both. So that's today's post. Hope you have a great weekend, that you are able to find a way to make a connection with somebody this weekend that is valuable to you, and your connections with me are more valuable than you can imagine. Thanks, and I'll see you Monday.